that. I do want to now turn to Ms. Fresh from the Workers Action Centre, and I want to truly acknowledge the incredible work that the Workers Action Centre does on behalf of workers, and particularly unionized precarious workers, which is, of course, a growing working class in our country and a struggling, very much struggling working class, particularly during this pandemic. I'm wondering if you can tell us, I know you've touched on it a bit already, but what do we need to do? What do we need to see this government do to make EI accessible to precarious workers in Canada?
Yes, thank you for the question. Well, I think reducing the hours threshold and making it permanent, as I said, the step toward 420 is a good step forward, but it really needs to go down further. That is a very important aspect of it, because as I said, basically the EI thresholds are still based on weekly earning or weekly hours of 35 hours. And as I was explaining, for most workers, 35 or 40 hours a week is just unheard of. And steady employment is also unheard of. So I think that's a very important point. We also need to make sure that we raise the actual amount of income supports for workers, because honestly, when you're in a low wage job, not even just a minimum wage job, 55% of income is just not sustainable. So we need to think about raising the floor of EI income benefits, to potentially 60 to 70% would be good. And we saw what we did during COVID. We had a floor of $500. So those are the kinds of things that we have to do to make sure that EI is not only there for workers in precarious employment, but that it sustains them. And I do think the other aspect of this is also extending the duration of benefits so that it's 50 weeks across the country, because just because you may get the EI in the front door, but then you lose at the back door because you haven't been able to get another job in time before your benefits run out. And as you know, if you've got low qualifying hours, then you have low access to duration. So those things are related. So we need a much longer duration. I will do a shout out for raising the sickness benefits from 15 to 26 weeks. That's very important. But I think, again, should be extended to 35. And I think COVID, the long haulers, we're getting all of this evidence to say these are essential changes. And one last thing to say about migrant workers as well, they pay into the system like all of us pay into the system, and they were absolutely essential for our economy. We need to make sure that those workers are protected and that EI is there for them as well, because they're contributing to it just like we all are.